Welcome back to another episode of Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on Kavanaugh's Corner, I'm going to be talking about another I don't want to say it's a cult classic, but it's really an underappreciated film that I picked up recently. This came out a while back on Shout Factory's Shout Select series, and I really loved this film. And this is a movie called Trespass, and this is starring Bill Paxton, Ice-T, Ice Cube, and Bill Sadler, or William Sadler as he's credited here. This is a really, really great action drama film from director Walter Hill, who also did 48 Hours, oh man, Bullet to the Head, God, oh, so many great action movies, Red Heat, Extreme Prejudice. Just, I could go on and on about Walter Hill all day long. I mean, The Warriors. This guy has directed so many great action movies, and this is another one right here. This movie is really a I don't want to say a masterwork of drama and suspense, but it is definitely it's almost like a modern take on The Treasure of Sierra Madre. And this is a great update of that kind of story. Basically, the movie is about two firefighters, who's Bill Paxton and William Sadler, who go to a not-so-great area of East St. Louis to recover gold that a crazy old man that dies in a fire told them about. They give the old man gives them like a treasure map, and they go and try to find this gold. And it's actually really, really cool to see these two guys kind of slowly de-evolve as the movie goes on, as they find out that they are kind of cornered by these really, I don't want to say nasty gang members, but these, I would say, violent individuals that do not like their presence in their area. And I don't want to spoil much more than that, but the movie gets really complicated really quickly. And Bill Paxton and William Sadler, their performances in this movie are outstanding. I also really like Ice-T in this movie. Ice-T actually plays a really interesting part. He's kind of like the leader of the gang that includes Ice Cube and a bunch of other actors that all do a great job. Everybody does a great job in this movie. But Bill Paxton's performance in this is really, really interesting. I love his kind of nervousness yet assertiveness in this film. And my God, do I miss this guy. That's one of the reasons why I picked up this film is that, well, first and foremost, it's a really nice collector's edition of the movie. This movie has been, like I mentioned earlier, woefully unappreciated, really underrated, and it really didn't get many good releases. It got a Laserdisc release and a somewhat decent DVD release years ago, but the picture was never really quite as good as it could have been. This one here, it's fantastic. I absolutely love the new transfer that they used in this. It's awesome. It is seemingly pristine, and you still get some film grain in it, but again, it is a movie that was filmed in the early 90s. I think it was like 91, 92, and it's a great, great movie. I love this movie, and it's never looked better. And it's funny that Shout Factory, the Shout Select series, they are really releasing tons of movies that I love. I've mentioned them a couple times on the show before, but this is one of their better releases. I love this disc. It's only one disc, but it is a fantastic release. One of the main reasons why it's fantastic, as I mentioned earlier, the new transfer of the film looks amazing. But also, they really did a great job of revamping the soundtrack to this movie. This version comes with a DTS HD Master Audio soundtrack, and it is really crystal clear. I mean, some of the sound effects are really booming, and since they're in kind of open buildings, you do get some echo every now and then in the film, and it really works to the movie's advantage. I really like it. Also, one other thing I wanted to mention about the soundtrack is that Ry Cooder, who did the music to this and a bunch of other Walter Hill films, I love the way that his music sounds in this version. I really think it's probably the clearest the movie's ever sounded, along with the picture. This is pretty much the best release we're probably ever going to get of this movie, and it is really, really well worth the money. I love this disc. On top of all that, there's also a pretty great amount of special features on this. There's at least 5 or 6 new special features on here. A couple of them are interviews. My 2 favorite on the whole disc are there's an interview with Bill Sadler, with the actor William Sadler, I should say, and he talks about the experience of filming and everything. And I didn't know that he actually accidentally knocked out Bill Paxton on set. But Bill got him back a few days later, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, he sent Bill Paxton to the hospital in one scene. And I didn't know that. It's actually really cool to hear that stuff. Another special feature that's really nice on this is they interview producer Bob Gale, who I really love. He's an awesome producer, and I can listen to that guy talk all day long. He's also one of the producers of the Back to the Future series, and he's just a riot. He talks about how really the movie had a very long production process. They actually wrote this movie back in the 70s, and it was actually originally called The Looters. And this movie came out in 1992. So that's a long way to go. But this, as I mentioned, it came out in 92, and something else also happened in 92, and that was the Rodney King verdict. And that was one of the main reasons why this movie got kind of pushed to the side when it came out. It was just really awful timing. And it's kind of sad, but this movie is a victim of circumstance, I should say. It's a great movie that came out at the absolute worst time possible. And it's a shame. It's really a shame, because I think this movie could have done great if it came out in the summertime. But as Bob Gale and another producer in the film, Neil Canton, another guy that worked on Back to the Future, ironically enough, they both mentioned the fact that the movie was pushed to December was one of the main reasons why it made absolutely no money. It actually came out on Christmas Day in 1992, and Bob Gale had a great moment where he says, what are we going to market this as? How is this going to be anything at Christmas time? And he says, what are we going to have the ad slogan going to be? Merry Christmas, motherfucker? What is this? It's really funny. He's a funny dude, and he's not afraid to speak his mind. If you really, really love Walter Hill films, you love action films, even if you like just suspense and drama, this is a great, great film that's really gone under the radar for many, many years. So I really wanted to bring it up on this show. And also, the fact that we lost Bill Paxton this year is another reason why I really wanted to mention this. Bill was a phenomenal actor, and we all miss him very much. He was absolutely outstanding. Funny enough, one of the next reviews I'm going to do is going to be about the 4K disc of Apollo 13, which also stars Bill Paxton. So look forward to that in the upcoming weeks. And until then, I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. I wanted to say thank you for coming back to Cavanaugh's Corner. Definitely go out and get Trespass. Gotta buy Trespass. This is an awesome film. And until then, I'll see you later. Have a great night.